there was a story on TV I was reading about how a guy up in Orlando, he has this pet alligator that he raised from an alligator that was like 10 inches long. He calls the alligator Willie. And Willie doesn't bite him. And Willie's almost about 8 feet long now. And he just scratches Willie, he hangs out with him. Willie doesn't bite him. Willie's like a pet dog. But he says that Willie likes eating rats. He likes eating dead birds and mice and other little snakes that he finds. But he doesn't, he goes, he never touches a human. Never opens his mouth at all. And he can play with him just like a puppy dog. It's pretty cute. Alright, so this is high tide here, and this sand is extremely soft, like quicksand. Let me see it up here. It's kind of soft too. It's still pretty quiet. Seagulls here. It means somebody fed them already. Like bread or, seagulls even eat chicken, fried chicken. They don't have anything. Fish, chicken. But if you brought out Chick-fil-A, they would love you. But this sand is just too soft. I mean, it rains, so it is slightly compacted. What rain does is it takes some of the air out of the sand, compacts the sand, and then the sand can support more weight, like me and my bike. And this guy's putting up umbrellas. This is his moorings. I thought that was a bird getting attacked by a dog, but it was he had a drill press with an auger bit on it, drilling holes, put the umbrellas. Oh man, I'm coming to a halt here. Ugh. I have to find me some hard sand. Got a bicycle over here. It's a little harder, but not much. Hello. Alright. Well, usually the biggest depression had the most water. And that would be the area with the least amount of air. Alright, so we're gonna get out of here. Just we made it all the way to the boardwalk without losing strength. Wow. All right. Oh, sorry.
Especially,
is Sanibel Island, or Hilton, whatever you want to call it. Used to be the Shell Harbor Best Western. Here's Dante's restaurant. This used to be the Pink Elephant. It's called Dante's. They used to have papers here more than what I see now. I think they got rid of them. Because, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But they always had River Rock here. They had papers. I think they had papers and went back to River Rock. River Rock is very expensive. Almost as expensive as these papers, but the river rock they get from streams up in North Georgia, there's streams full of this river rock. You just dig out the stream and garbage truck fulls. Alright, so here's Tortuga Beach Club. I remember seashelling some of the big mounds that when they were digging this, putting the foundation of these buildings in. Just like in the dunes when they were building these golf courses and building the the golf clubhouse. They had big mounds of sand, and in those big mounds of sand when they were dredging, I used to find huge horse conchs, like horse conchs that were like almost 1.5 feet long and like 9 inches wide. Huge, big conchs, like 1.5 feet long by 1 foot wide. I mean, stuff you would only see like in a museum or something. I mean, I didn't find hundreds of them, and most of them were already broken because they're being scooped up by a backhoe. So the backhoe will slice those things right in half in an instant. But for the ones that were still intact, that's what I found. I still have a couple out by my backyard. I'll leave them outside. The weather's good for them. Just past Loggerhead. Loggerhead was one of these hotels that was that was like completely under construction from like 1970 onwards. They had so many different phases that they were still building. Didn't actually complete until like 85. Morning. Morning. It's A-frames homes. So it's a trend. Prevent your leak from roofing. They're just building an A-frame house, which is basically an entire roof and no sidewalls. Hello. It's a middle golf track. That little stretch we took through, which I call that's the little strip between East Gulf Drive and Middle Gulf Drive. That strip took the longest to connect. I don't think it was done until 88. I mean, you had to go back up to Periwinkle, take Periwinkle. This is Narita Street. This is the other option to go to 7-Eleven. Back towards Donax, back towards Periwinkle to go to 7-Eleven. The bicycle down that road all the time. And these roads used to all be sand, and then they decided one day to pave it, like in the late 80s, which was awesome. I'm not sure if we're going to take the same route. I'm trying to think here. If I go to the beach, it's going to be the same old high tide stuff. It's a shame it's not low tide. Probably low tides were at noon today. I should have waited a little bit. I guess we'll go the same way. Oh, we'll come back on Periwinkle. Oh, my fault. I'm going slow now. So a lot of these tennis courts are converted to pickleball. Not those, and not these, but a lot of courts on Sanibel, they're either converted to pickleball or they have either fully converted, so there's no more tennis, or they take each double tennis court and make 4 pickleball courts, one on each side of the court. So if there's 2 courts, there's 2 sides times 2, that makes 4. So make 4 pickleball courts. And sometimes they leave the nets of the pickleball courts up. So you can't really play tennis at all. Unless you physically pick up the nets of pickleball. Some of the signs says do not enter. I don't know, I think they should have designed their roads a little bit better. Kept some of these signs away, Just made the road more apparent. Now this is kind of nice that they redid this bicycle path here. There used to be a collection box inside every convenience store, and it was the bike path collection box. And I'm not sure if that was a scam or what, but people wanted bike paths, so they were always tipping. So there'd be like $50 to $100 each week in the bike path. At each one of these stores. Bailey's had one, Jerry's had one. 7-Elevens, they had one. Even the Rumble gas station, when it was called Texaco, had one. So they accumulated a lot of money in those things. Rest assured, that money was probably matched by the government to build the bike paths. So these bike paths don't cost that much. They don't do sophisticated engineering on this. They don't really do anything except clear the roots and just lay asphalt. They don't even lay it straight or level. Look at it. They don't lay it like the roads. Now I have to admit, this being like 5 to 7 feet wide, this is a nice wide path here. You can almost stick definitely a golf cart, if not a car, down this one. But most bike paths only make 4 feet wide, which is not wide enough for a car, barely wide enough for a golf cart. This bike path, you can almost put 2 golf carts down. One would just pull over, let the other one pass. Sundial Beach Club. That's a money maker. You had bought in that. You can get $2,000 a week easy. You can get somewhere between $200 and $300 a day renting. So 7 days, $300. Yeah, it's $2,100. $2,000 a week. Easy. Morning. I was going fast because there's a lady with a bike behind me. I'm cruising too much. Here's the main Sundial building. To the left there, that's the registration area, and also windows of the water where you can eat and sit out, look over the pool, and look over the Gulf of Mexico. One of the rare restaurants on Sanibel that you're high enough with a good view of the water. You got the Mad Hatter down Blind Pass, but that's like ground level. You really can't see the water. Crystal Lodge, you can't see the water. So really, Windows to the Water is the only restaurant there is on Sanibel. You can see the water. And on Sanibel, see the pickleball? They basically took all the tennis courts and made them into pickleball. Hello. I had an accident there. That's sad. Alright. And the really hear the kid ball now. Oh well. Wish he had a helmet on, hopefully. Alright. See, Sanibel is close to build out now. There used to be a lot of cement trucks driving up and down the road. You know, a full 10 cubic foot cement truck. I don't know how many tons that weighed, 30, 40, 50 tons. It's just a lot. That would, anytime a cement truck had to brake for whatever reason, that would put stress on the road. That would crumple up the road, crack it, make depressions. But now that they're at build out, you don't have that many cement trucks entering Sanibel. You still have some. There's still some development going on down by Warford. See 1 or 2 cement trucks heading that way in the morning. There's still some property in Sanibel developed, but it's still very expensive. One. Yeah, pickleball seems to be the sport of choice now. They don't play tennis. I mean, the nice thing about pickleball is that you could use regular tennis shoes for pickleball, which is, you know, actually a benefit because tennis shoes, they have to be made very strong or else they fall apart on the tennis court. Or pickleball, you're pretty much just going to be doing light steps. You're not going to be doing much running. You're not going to be doing much jumping. Lady again. You can try passing, although now that I know you're right next to me, I'm going to speed up. About this bike I don't like is that the first sprocket is about an inch smaller than some of my other 29-inch sprockets, so I can get a better compression on my other bikes, so I prefer riding them. But the nice thing about this bike is it's got the big fat tires and it's double suspension, so I am looking for a new bike. I've seen a Maxxis bike, and yeah, costs $2,000, but it has everything I want. It has pneumatic brakes, it has full suspension, disc brakes, carbon fiber, and then it's magnesium aluminum alloy where, you know, the critical joints are, which so it doesn't use any steel, and it has no spokes, but it has those carbon fiber wheel, whatever they're called, joists. So no spokes means I could drive right in the salt water, no problem. And the wheel itself is carbon fiber, so it's not made out of steel, so it won't rust. So that's even nicer. That's $2,000. In Las Vegas, everyone was driving around with an expensive bike. I was amazed. I mean, you don't even see that quality of bike here in Fort Myers, and I think there's more biking that goes on here on the East Coast than over in LA. Even in Denver, I've seen people with more sophisticated mountain bikes. I mean, obviously you're in the Rocky Mountains. They should sell just mountain bikes over there. But I guess there's more of a demand so that there's more supply, and they supply a more sophisticated mountain bike to those areas than they do over here. I mean, over here, I've been inside the Trek and Schwinn stores. They want $7,000 for a halfway decent bike, which online costs only $2,000, so they're making an exorbitant profit. I'm not sure if that lady behind me has got an electric bicycle or what. She's able to keep up with me. I had someone this morning when I was coming on Sanibel, and I was talking with that person. They were on some kind of bike behind me, and I was trying to stay ahead of them. And I did manage to stay ahead of them, but a whole bunch of people did pass me on the causeway. But I don't think any of them had electric bikes. Alright, here's Cassia Bell Road. Someone right up here, last time I was this way, they had an accident. I'm not sure if they fell off their bike or what. That was very sad. On your left. It's about 85, 86 degrees right now still. I am sweating though, that's for sure. And there is a slight breeze, but thank goodness there's still that high stratus/cirrus cloud. Morning. Bugs in my mouth. Anytime you drive by a swamp, there are these little bugs that fly out, and they don't realize they want to sting you, they want to bite you, but they don't anticipate you're coming at them at 5 to 7 miles an hour, and then they fly right in your mouth. So it's a good thing to keep your mouth closed with a bicycle here. Try to breathe through your nose. Past the Thistle Lodge. Still on our outbound leg. My foot actually hurts today. I'm not going to go all the way down to Captiva. I have to have a nice bike with good rolling force, with good shoes to make it all the way down there. And these surf walkers and my foot itself, I don't know what I ate. I ate something that didn't sit well in my kidney or liver. It's making my foot hurt with my diabetic pain. It doesn't hurt that much. It's just, there's a little more sensitivity in the foot than there normally would be. That's about it. So it doesn't hurt right now, but I could feel each pump. You know what I mean? So usually you can't feel it, but I can feel it in the bottom of my soul. I think next time I come on Sanibel, I'll bring my $35 bike. Hopefully by then I'll get 2 new 29-inch tires. I have a 26-inch tire, brand new, but obviously it won't fit a 29-inch. I wish I could trade it with someone who had a 29-inch. Problem with riding my $35 bike is those tires are so rotted. It still holds 80 pounds of pressure though, that's the nice thing. So I have a nice rolling force with it, but alright, that lady that was behind me, it looks like she took a different way, so I don't have to worry about her creeping up on me. Alright, well, we're coming up to our pit stop up at Rebel gas station. I'm going to get my whatever it is. Get the sweet iced tea. They've been raising their prices lately, though. I don't like that. In fact, I was thinking about even just going over to Huckster's and buying it over there. I don't like when stores raise their pricing. I like buying something out of a plastic container. I don't like the taste out of an aluminum can. That's the problem with Arizona tea. They sell a lot of their stuff out of aluminum cans. It's a good price, 99 cents, but the problem is that once you crack it open, you have to drink the whole thing. right then and there, or else it'll spill. There's a plastic container, you can at least screw the cap back on. Morning. Alright. There's Tarpon Beach Road. This is the road Bailey's is on. Bailey's at the intersection of Tarpon Bay Road and Prairie. So I would normally go to the beach, check it out there, but the sun is becoming a little too unbearable right now. I just can't believe that rainy season's almost over. I like the little shade effect that's going on here. This is nice. Morning. These people smart, Renting a car costs money, so if you can get to the airport to Sanibel without renting a car, and then you can stop at Bailey's by using a bicycle. Wow, I mean that's smart. Good morning. These people gotta pay for parking here. It's terrible. There's a nice bathroom, but they put a bathroom attendant here, and they charge a lot for parking. I hate that. Just do away with the bathrooms. Just put in porta potties, do away with the parking attendant, and do away with the price of parking. The more people would park here, and more people would patronize the local stores. But instead, because of the exorbitant parking fees, they have to find, because their disposable income is not unlimited, they have to find the cheapest beverages that they could find, usually at a Walmart or somewhere, and or at Costco, BJ's, Sam's Club, and they put that in a cooler. They bring that to the beach, and they don't patronize local stores. Morning. So it's a two-edged sword, You start nickel and diming everybody, and they don't realize that those people, they only have a nickel and dime as disposable income, and they can't spend it in the local economy. And then the local economy says, hey, so many people came over a bridge, how come they're not spending it here? Well, because the bridge toll is too high, you have to pay for parking everywhere. Exactly, it's silly. Local governments don't care about their citizens. They're in it for themselves. That's a sad thing. It never was like that. It never should be like that. But it always is like that. Even when local governments start becoming belligerent, start attacking their local citizens and businesses. Morning. Unfortunately, local governments have the unlimited resources of the government to spend on their behalf, so they could do offensive and defensive. It just costs the taxpayer however much it's going to cost them. Local governments don't care, and that's why they should do away with local governments. You don't really need them anymore. People should be responsible for their own water, septic, for their own electricity generation, and fire prevention, protection, and their own policing with carrying their own guns. So you don't really need the government anymore. Just people need to be neighborly to one another. And that's the thing. People become neighborly. They want to help people out. They put a city together to help them. Next thing you know, the city becomes belligerent. Ridiculous. There has to be clauses put in that the citizens can take back their city on a straw vote. Put everyone in the city out of business instantly, but it never happens. Morning. I'm not saying that the city doesn't provide services, but people are still paying for it. They're still paying for electricity. They still pay for water. They pay for their fire. They pay for their ambulance. They're still paying for it in taxes and when they have to use the service. So it doesn't make sense to have a city government kind of like monopolizing the services and monopolizing them to the point where you actually have to pay more. That's going against what the city was originally drafted to do. The city was drafted to make things cheaper, not make things more costly, prohibitive, and more expensive, and having services hard to find. It's not good. Nope. Fixing it. tires. So I was told by someone that they tore down, they're making room for a new Bailey's. Bailey's is going to build a brand new supermarket behind this existing one. I'm not sure if they're building a multi-level or not, like Bailey's. I was told by a friend of mine who's a vendor for Bailey's, that's what they're going to do. They're going to build a brand new supermarket. I'm not sure if it's going to be 2 or 3 stories, because this one has reached its life. And they like the idea of raising the supermarket above mean flood stage, the 15 feet up, so that if there was a hurricane surge, all Bailey's wouldn't be a total loss. And Bailey's really hasn't suffered any type of water since Hurricane Keith in 1987 had rolled through here. And the water level went up almost 8 feet and flooded a lot. Bailey's would have suffered catastrophic flooding inside their store. It would have put most of their food in, they would have to throw it out, have a tax write-off. But still, 8 feet, that I would say would be the mean high tide for a storm that was coming this way. And Hurricane Keith, that was kind of a weird one that came in late July in 1987. Okay, well, we're almost at. There's the Timbers on the right. It's a good restaurant. I haven't eaten in here like in 25 years. Just right after they built this restaurant here. The Timbers used to be down on Rabbit Road at the corner. And then they moved over here. And another place took over the old Timbers. It's just too expensive to eat out these days. Even 20 years ago it was too expensive. I would eat out for lunch, and lunch was still expensive, but it was still bearable. Now it's even too expensive to eat out for lunch. Dinner, forget it. Morning. Morning. Yeah. Alright, well, I'm going to take my break. I'm not as too hot as sweaty as I normally would be, but let's try through the water, why not? Get my shoe away. Oh, terrible. I'm going to have to take a loop here.